listen to this man. He got some good news for you. Hey, man, listen. Hey, everybody, gather near. The doctor's in the house, so lend him your ear. The things he can say might even make your day. He might even help your pain go away. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor is in the house. Welcome, everybody, to an extra episode on this Super Bowl Sunday. This is Dr. Ron, host of Dr. Ron, Unfiltered, Uncensored. Hope everybody is ready for the big game. It reminds me of the Coliseum. Keep your mind off of what's really going on in the world, right? Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, today I want to remind you that the medical profession is the third leading cause of death in the United States. We've done programs on this. I'm preparing an updated one that I will bring to you shortly. But doctors, yes, you heard me right, are the third leading cause of death. They are the professionals that we entrust our health with that could potentially be a significant risk factor. Our emergency care is fantastic. Our trauma care is fantastic, but we do not know how to handle chronic diseases except to give you a prescription that is refillable. So we'll get into that. But we've been talking about how you have to dig deep and be careful of what you buy at the grocery store, what you put in your bathroom cabinet, what you put on your body, because let's face it, 90% of the doctor's training are taught one thing: grab that prescription pad. Don't get me wrong now. I said it before, medicine has its place, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. The real revolution is happening before you ever get to the doctor's office. It happens in your refrigerator, on your plate. Yes, and as I've told you, even what you slather on your skin, the largest organ of your body. So listeners, wellness warriors, your body is a magnificent bioreactor. What you put into it, what you put on it, it all matters. We're going to revisit today nanoplastics. And why is that? Well, only 2 episodes ago, I did a show on nanoplastics. And in that episode, we explored how microplastics infiltrate our bodies and impact our health. Well, there's a new discovery that confirms what we suspected, but the problem is even more severe than we imagined. Now, these microplastics are tiny particles that are found in our water, in our air, in our food. They penetrate tissues. They enter our bloodstream. They enter into our vital organs. Health risks include inflammation, endocrine disruption, and potential links to chronic diseases. And we have talked about how endocrine disruption and the high estrogen levels is a factor in autoimmune and chronic diseases. Now, scientists have identified plastic particles in human brain tissue, the size of a plastic spoon, ladies and gentlemen. These particles bypass the blood-brain barrier, a structure meant to protect the brain from harmful substances. Well, have we seen an increase in certain neurodegenerative diseases like dementia and Parkinson's? So these health implications are neuroinflammation, cognitive decline, we call it dementia, and mental health and Parkinson's disease. Our brain is our most protected organ. If plastics are reaching it, no part of our body is safe. This accumulation of large particles may cause physical disruptions beyond the chemical effects we have discussed. You have to know this. You have to be conscious of plastics. Now, if you want a summary of that episode and you don't want to listen to it, go to my WordPress site, Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored. But these microplastics enter our body through ingestion, through inhalation, and through our skin. We consume tens of thousands of microplastic particles a year. And not only neuroinflammation, that is when it crosses the blood-brain barrier, but there is a connection between microplastic and diseases such as diabetes and cancer. And we talked about how these microplastics can disrupt our gut microbiome, which is vital for our immune system and our overall health. Remember, if you have a superior interior, you have a great immune system. So you want to be careful of plastics and use glass or stainless steel containers instead of plastic. Invest in a good water filtration system. Avoid products that contain microbeads. And of course, the root of it all is using too much plastic. So we have to advocate for bans on single-use plastic, and we have to be aware about the dangers of the plastic pollution. Plastic is everywhere, ladies and gentlemen, and now disturbingly in human brain tissue. Well, that's the picture I want to paint today on Super Bowl Sunday. And, I've been talking about cognitive dissonance, where when a suggestion is put before you that is contrary to what you've been believing, it's hard for you to accept that new suggestion. Please be careful of that. Because just as we've been wrong about plastics and we did not think how dangerous they are, we've been wrong about statin drugs, a $22 to $25 billion industry. They cost millions and millions, and millions are taking them. Guess what? Heart disease is still the number one killer. I told you so 5 years ago. The failure of statins. Initially, they were promoted as a solution to lower heart disease and heart disease deaths, but they have not significantly reduced mortality despite their widespread use and their tremendously high costs. Heart disease is still the number one killer. That's why we have to get down to basics and have lifestyle and environmental changes that play a larger role than we've all been told about. And that's a whole new podcast on statins, because we have a cholesterol derangement syndrome going on in this country. Cholesterol is not bad. In fact, many physicians say that as you get older, you need a higher cholesterol because your brain needs it. Your brain is mainly fat, and your brain needs a lot of oxygen also, by the way. So statins are associated with dementia, diabetes, and Parkinson's disease, and a whole list of other problems. And they're expensive. So don't fall for that cholesterol derangement syndrome. So we were right in our prior episode to raise the alarm about microplastics, and the evidence is continuing to mount. And we have been told during the pandemic, trust the science. Well, how can you trust the science when more than half of peer reviewers of the top 4 medical journals receive payments from the drug and medical device manufacturers totaling $1.06 billion with a B dollars from 2020 to 2022, and that is according to an analysis of the Open Payment Database. I mean, basically, they were paid to get the result that the pharmaceutical companies wanted. So my next episode is going to be on dementia because new cases of dementia will double by 2060. It's a memory robbing condition. It's horrible for the family. So that will be our next episode where we will first attack what are the curable, reversible types of dementia. And then we'll go on from there. Just as another note, people ask me, how do you detox from plastic? Well, you have to always have a strong liver function. So we have to support our liver function because that's where the plastics get broken down. So again, it comes back to a nutrient-rich diet, a lifestyle change, and maybe supplementing with antioxidants like glutathione. Now, saunas are great. They help your body detoxify through sweating. And they have been shown that they can eliminate plastic-related chemicals like BPA from our bodies. And detoxifying foods, again, in our diet, like cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, citrus fruits, garlic, ginger, turmeric, berries. Let your diet be your medicine. Stay hydrated so we can flush those toxins out of our body. Exercise regularly. It does not have to be, mile runs. Just a quick walk regularly. And if you're in a climate like I am in Florida, enough walking to promote sweating. A good high fiber diet. Here we go back to lifestyle again. High fiber diet supports gut health. And you can excrete your toxins through your bowel movements. And the root cause is the plastic. So if we could reduce our exposure, watch our food packaging, watch our single-use items, do not microwave in plastic. It's a challenging problem to get rid of these plastics, ladies and gentlemen. But, we have to do the best we can. Well, I said I would just do a quick podcast. I guess this is it. I really appreciate it. if you could spread the word, because we have so much medical news that you can use that's coming out. I want to talk to you about the real world cell phone radio frequencies. And I guess what really got me upset is when I saw how much radiation occurs if you're using your cell phone in a closed space like an elevator. I've often said that electromagnetic fields are worse than secondhand smoke. And why? Because you can avoid secondhand smoke. You can smell it. You can get out of the room. But it is getting harder and harder to escape electromagnetic fields in this society, especially when they fully unleash 5 and 6G. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you listening to this podcast. It's called Dr. Ron, Unfiltered, Uncensored. Our next podcast will be on dementia. I know I had some requests for Ozempic, but I'm going to just save that for a while, because I think that's going to implode on its own with all the side effects they're finding. So I just see the Praying Oracle. What a great name for a Sunday. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. This is Dr. Ron, Unfiltered, Uncensored. Have a great Sunday, and may your favorite team win today. And praying is always good. Okay. See you next time. Bye.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house.